May 13th. This is supposed to be like a feast day of the Blessed Virgin Mary. I'm not sure. So, but what I thought what we would do today is we would do a meditation because there's so much going on in the world. Okay, so, I told you about that hantavirus, how it was 2012. There's an episode of where Mulder talks to government official, how they created and manufactured and wanted to spread it. That was in 2012 to reduce the population. So, I don't want to think negative here, but there are mad scientists and they're messing around too much, and they never should let these people come back here. Or all of them should have been just placed in, that Nebraska place. Because where did it spread? It spread on the planes through the air systems. Those air systems are not contained, Whatever somebody's breathing or has in their lungs, it's going to spread all over the plane. So it's very arrogant. I think it's very arrogant and unconscious for people, these scientists and these doctors, these medical people, to allow this to happen. And I think some people spoke out about it, but nobody listened. Nobody listened. So, I think right now the days are telling us that we want to be in a community of conscious people, right? We are going to do a meditation today because this is spreading, right? So you want to go to the bathroom or get your favorite crystal. I think I am going to use this crystal today, the one with the gold flecks channels a lot. And today's meditation that I want to do, I'm going to clear us too, is we're going to practice doing a cosmic spiral, the golden spiral, where you pull it up over your back, start in your sacrum, your sacroiliac joint, where you're sitting, your coccyx. You're going to pull it up. Kept sliding down in this chair. I used to have a really nice chair. I left it in Eagle Ridge in Galena up there. It was a beautiful chair from Carson's. You could just snuggle up inside. It was made out of cotton corduroy fabric. Never should have left that chair behind. But anyway, somebody else is enjoying it. All right, so here I am. Try to get yourself sitting as straight as possible. Because you're going to possibly move around. Because that's what this meditation does. It helps you to vibrate, right? So let me clear out all that energy. We're all up in our heads. We're all stressed out and worried about this. This hantavirus is really creepy. Really got to pray over this thing. It's the devil's doing, right? One of the four horses of the apocalypse, right? Isn't that? We're in the apocalypse now. Apocalypse means change, right? Drastic change. Clearing out our heart chakra. Allow your shoulders to release. Let's take a breath in through our nose. Let's lift up our shoulders and allow them to slouch down. Breathe in through our nose. Allow our shoulders to slouch down. Breathe in through our nose. Okay, we're starting to vibrate already, so you might feel that in your lower sacroiliac joint. Just allow yourself to clear out first before we go into the cosmic spiral. So you may feel your body moving to the right. Maybe feel your shoulders vibrate out. Call them the angel wings, getting your angel wings on. Make sure you're doing this in a quiet area where there's nobody yipping and yapping. And I'm so blessed today. I feel so blessed that there's no planes right now. I have so many chores to do, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to stop. And I promised you guys a meditation, and I said, we have to do a meditation today. There's too much going on in the world. I put some clove oil on my ankles and on my body to ward off any kind of little bugs out there in the garden. Use aromatherapy oils to prevent yourself from getting bitten this summer. All right, and let's let ourselves just kind of flow into our centers. The more centered you are, the more conscious you are, and the more you can create in the world without fear. We're just going to gently breathe in and out through our nose and our mouth, okay? And then you might also hear the sound current. Usually comes in through the left ear. Some people might find it in the right ear. The sound current is like divine music. I mean, it is divine. It is divine music. You can't even describe it. Although in the early stages of meditation, it might feel like very simple, like crickets, like frogs, like a flute, like chimes. So you might hear those kind of sounds, like if you're going into deeper meditation. And as your vibrations, and there's a lot of solar rays that are coming out right now, and that's why we need more rest right now. Good vegetables like organic salads, and if you feel you need to eat lighter, just eat lighter. You might not be attracted to alcohol and coffee, and that's okay. So there's a lot of solar energy coming out right now. So just allow your body to integrate and synthesize it, right? And you might feel your energy coming out of your hands. You might feel your hands starting to buzz. And when you feel that buzzing, you could put it anywhere on your body, that you need healing. Be thy own physician, physician heal thyself. All right, we're going to continue on with the meditation. Before we go more, I'm going to show you this one hand movement I learned last night on YouTube. It's called Wugu. And they say all the babies all around the world are born like this. They all come out putting the thumb across the palm and closing our hands over it. So when you're having a hard time sleeping at night, and I tried this last night, and I fell asleep really well. And I slept for 5 hours straight. So, because otherwise we find our minds spinning. And I find that when you go like this, Wugu, that it feels really good. So you might want to try that during this meditation too. All right, let's go back into meditation. We're going to allow our cosmic spin, and then we're going to go into that cosmic orbit, okay? Here we go. You might be clearing your throat chakra. Let me do some Reiki on the heart. Yeah, a lot of people have lost their loved ones at this time. It's so sad, right? People are going to have sad Father's Day and Mother's Day. And, we put so much energy into those days, Mother's Day, Father's Day. But I would say to you, don't just focus on one day, right? Focus on every day. Every day being in your center, every day with sending love to those people that you love, that are out there thinking about you and sharing with you. Don't just focus always on one day. All right, now that we're in our center here, we're going to do a visualization. I want you to visualize putting your attention on your lower sacral iliac joint, where you're sitting there. And you're going to visualize the energy coming up from the bottom. And you might actually feel some energy there. You might feel some tingling energy there, the lower part of your spine. And just allow it to gently rise up your back and across the top of your head, down the front of your body, and down the front and all the way around. So we're going to just sit in that meditation for a while. You might feel your neck release. You want to place your tongue on the top of your mouth, your palate. So take some time to sit in the silence today. You want to ground your energy and receive healings. And try to find some time to be out in nature, even for a few minutes. It could be like sitting on a park bench in nature, watching the squirrels run around. I wouldn't be in too many crowded places right now. I think there's too many viruses going around. And like I said, try to eat healthy and put on some aromatherapy oils. I really like RC oil by Young Living. Clove oil is good. I mean, some of these you have to mix with other oils, carrier oils, so they don't become too strong on your body. So try to have some goals for today, but don't overdo it. Because remember, our whole DNA is changing. And there's a lot of new energy coming on the planet, right? So we're integrating that to refine our DNA. So yeah, let's pray that this hantavirus is not what the X-Files said in 2012, where Mulder was talking to a government official and telling that government official in secrecy that they created and were planning to spread this hantavirus to get rid of a certain percentage of the population. It's very creepy. That was in 2012. So that's why they got rid of the X-Files, right? Maybe they need to bring it back. And then we had the 2020. And now we have this, right? So, you have to ask yourself what's really going on here. There's going to be a food shortage, so you want to put up grain, you want to put up beans, you want to put up dried fruit, you want to put away candles. I don't mean not be obsessive about it, but, just if you help out yourself, help out others, right? Just don't think about yourself only. That's what a lot of people do now. Although I've seen some amazing things on YouTube where brothers and sisters and people are helping out other people. And I think one of the best ones I saw today was they put a tracking device in the packages, and they found out who these porch pirates are. And they need to start arresting them, They need to start arresting them. You can't just let people go crazy and do all this crazy, chaotic stuff. If they don't have any self-control, then there's outside self-control, right? Yeah, I hate to think like that, but we have to have a balance. We have to have balance and beauty in our world. It all goes back, okay, I'm going to get preachy here. It all goes back to the 10 Commandments, right? Thou shalt not steal. Because it takes away the sharing aspect, right? It takes away that sharing aspect. It puts the knife in the back of the sharing and caring people. We can't just say, oh, I can take whatever I want. Where did that mindset come into play, right? Where did that mindset come, thou shalt not kill? And yet people pick up a gun and shoot their whole families, right? Why? Why is that happening? Why is that happening? Why is this wickedness and this evil spirit trying to take over the planet Earth when this is supposed to be our paradise, right? It's supposed to be the paradise on Earth. This is our Garden of Eden. Every aspect of this earth is our Garden of Eden. They could say, oh, it's one specific place. But no, it's in your heart. It's all. That's why it says, we are stardust, we are golden. That song by Robert Plant and Jimmy Page. I actually got to do acupuncture on Jimmy Page. He was a guitarist, right? And he was having problems with his thumb. He says, I'm afraid of needles. And I says, well, these are not those kind of needles. They don't have a shaft. They're as thin as your hair. Acupuncture is so amazing. So amazing. I got to share last night on a YouTube chat with, in Joseph Tittle's chat. I think it was his chat, yeah, where this guy had, he was talking about having seizures. And I said, acupuncture is one of the best therapies for seizures because it balances your Dumo and your Renmo channels. So if you know anybody who has epilepsy or seizures, they should definitely do acupuncture. And they said THC in the marijuana plant is really good too for seizures. So, that's something you have to research, but I definitely know that acupuncture, because I'm an acupuncturist, is really good for seizures. So yeah, I don't even think it's called alternative medicine anymore. This should be mainstream now. There's too many problems with Western medicine. Too many problems. Too many problems with pharma. It's kind of like one of those quick rich schemes, right? We need to get back to Western herbs. Yeah, Western herbs. And stop killing your dandelions in the grass. You can pluck them out with a dandelion remover, right? And use that in salads and in teas. Dandelions are so amazing. They're so healing for your body. But what do they want us to do? They want us to spray them with a chemical. You see all those lawns with no dandelions on them? You know what happened there, brother? They've all been sprayed. If you see a perfect lawn, you know what's going on there. I don't even know why people have lawns anymore. Why don't they just turn them into a wildflower garden and feed the birds and butterflies? Right? I am going to go out right now and I'm going to do some work. And let me just do one more killing here. Ugh. Yeah, think about all your brothers and sisters that are in need. I like those GoFundMe things. I think those are really helpful. Oh, yeah, the other one I want to talk about was like in San Francisco. They're just removing all these people off the streets. But if you don't find a space to put them, it's like destroying them too, in a way. Take that money and open up a mall and, put people in these rooms, right, where they can have a kitchen, a shower, a bathroom, and have people manage it. That's where the money goes. But people are stealing the money that's supposed to go for all these homeless people. So that's why they're getting upset now. Well, if you don't have somebody in charge of the piggy bank, they're going to crack it open and rob it. That's the kind of consciousness that's out there. I mean, there are people that are wealthy people that could create these shelters, that could put them into place, hire people, and, eventually it'll become self-sufficient, right? Help these people get on their feet, because they're off their feet right now. That's what's the problem. They're just laying around, probably shooting up. We don't know. I don't know. I don't want to judge them, but I just think that we need to take care of these people that cannot take care of themselves. That's the brotherhood of man, right? Because the children suffer, everybody's suffering. Nobody wants to see it. Who wants to see somebody do doo-doo on the street, right? So yeah, it's happening everywhere, and now we got this virus spreading, and it's just pathetic. So let's meditate and pray for all of this that's going on our planet. We all see it happening. So don't get down about it or worry about it. You still have to protect your friends and yourself. Take care of your own lives. That's where it starts, right? It starts in your center. So let me clear our centers a little bit. The last message I want to leave you with is if you're over 60 years old, this is what I found out. I found out that people over 60 don't absorb vitamin D. Well, so if you think you could sit outside and absorb it, 75% of it doesn't get absorbed. So that's why you have to get it from food like salmon or sardines or some kind of fatty fish that's hopefully not so toxic and, toxic, right? I mean, I don't know. They found worms in salmon, so that kind of turned me off to salmon. I mean, I think there's worms in everything. It's just part of life. Like I was changing the dirt in my planters and I found juicy worms in there. I put them back in the earth. But, I mean, it's part of the biosystem. Thank God there's worms, right? They break everything down. So you got to take vitamin K. Right, K1 is for clotting, so they say vitamin K2 because that helps to direct the calcium in your body. And have that with MK7. I don't know what that is. I have to research that. I just heard about that. And, of course, you need to take it with K3. So they all kind of work together to keep your bones and teeth strong and healthy. So if you don't take that in your diet, not getting it from the sun, although we don't know what we're getting from the sun anymore. That's the big question mark, right? What are we getting from the sun? We know it's changing our DNA. We know that, right? So, I still believe I'm going to get some from it. At least I get 25%. I don't even know where I want to live anymore. My mind kind of bounces around between Eagle Ridge, Arizona, St. John. I'm at that point where maybe I don't want a house anymore. Maybe I just want an apartment or a condo somewhere and then be able to like bounce around to other places. So right now I'm working on my body, trying to get it healthy and strong. And I hope you are doing the same. So let's stay in our hearts. Get a meditation in. This is why I really had to do a meditation with you guys. I really had to do one. It was just too long. And yes, you can receive healing through the channel. Remember to surround yourself with loving people and caring people, not people that are so snappy to criticize, okay? Stay in your heart.